Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name's Wraith, and today I'm going to be going over top 5 tips on how to use heroes effectively in your Middle-earth strategy battle game. So, it's just basically how to improve the game. Yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. How to get the most out of your heroes and use them for what they're intended for. Now, there are many different types of heroes. They go from beat sticks, so Azog I'd count as a beat stick, Aragorn / King Elisar as a beat stick, things that love combat and just kill. So yeah, and then we can get nitpicky where you've got like anti-hero kind of warriors, so they got the Harashin, the assassins, and obviously Azog is an anti-hero, and then we've got like more support characters. So we got the Master of Lake Town, who's a support character. I would even bracket Boromir as a support hero, just because he's got 6 might, so he can use that for heroic moves and things like that, heroic marches, and he's got his banner of awesomeness. So yeah, they're support heroes. And then we've got spellcasters. So, but I'm going to try and generalize it as much as we can for good and evil. I'm not going to be like, well, make sure you use your Elven Blade, because not all heroes have Elven Blades. So, what do we do with them? Well, my number 5 tip is pretty simple, and it is use them for what they're intended for. When you look at a hero, you should know what role they fit. If I am bringing, say, Galadriel, Lady of Light, I know A, she's a spellcaster, B, she's squishy, and C, she's extremely good at stopping people shooting at me or banishing wraiths / shades / Angmar. So that's her role. She's going to be anti-wraith, she's going to be anti-shooting. Perfect, absolutely perfect. I know what she's intended for. I'm going to use it like that. It sounds really silly, but make sure you do, because I've seen a few people that expect, say, the Serpent King to be able to take out a massive top tier hero, because they're cool, they're a really expensive hero, they're a hero of legend, they can take out everyone. No. The Serpent Lord is very good at buffing your troops with his banner, which is 6 inches, and it's just fantastic, and he's a pretty solid hero. Yeah, he's solid all-rounder. But he's not going to take on, King Elisar, not at all. So know what roles they are for. Number 4 on my list is you want to be getting at least your points value back with your heroes. And by points value, I don't mean just, well, if I tally up how many orcs he killed, does that equal 150 points? No. We're talking about victory points, okay? If you've spent 200 points on a hero, he better do quite a bit of the lifting. So, a 1,000-point game, that is 1/5 of your army already on one hero. And if he's not pulling his weight by breaking the enemy, by killing the leader, or by being extremely good at negating other armies from doing what they usually do, then you're not using him right. Like a captain, all I expect from my captains is to heroic march and on occasion add to the fight value. So if I want an extra fight, like higher fight value in a fight, I'll try and chuck a captain in. But yeah, and ways around that is basically what you got to see it as is you got to look at the big picture, right? Sure, my Gothmog might be pretty good at killing heroes, but I can get more out of my points value if I drop a heroic march here, which means I can then flank my enemy or come round behind them to then trap like maybe a quarter of the enemy force, or not even anything like that, and that makes him 10 times easier to deal with. And at that point, he is adding to the victory conditions. He is helping with, winning the game. Heroic marches are seriously underrated. Not enough people use heroic marches. I use them all the time because they're fantastic. You can grab objectives with them. You can, trap enemies with them. You can get into better positions. They're fantastic. So yeah, it's not always about gunning for the enemy leader, because that's what a lot of people do. They see Aragorn on the other side of the board, and they go, right, Gothmog's got to get into Aragorn because he's the only guy that can kill him. Wrong. Your normal troops can kill Aragorn. Okay? It's harder for them, but they can. Aragorn quite easily kill Gothmog. So What you want to do is be setting things up for later on in the game. You've got to think ahead. It's kind of like chess. Think a few moves ahead. If you heroic march at this point, or if you heroic move at this point, then you know later on in the game you will get into an ideal position where Aragorn will be trapped by a bunch of orcs, maybe even Gothmog in there as well, all with spear supports, and then that's when you can drop in the strike and go for the kill. Because you do get points with killing enemy heroes or the enemy leader, but I'd rather break the enemy force and start causing route tests than kill the leader. Because if he's got less models on the board than you have, you can then start grabbing the objectives, play the scenario, and then kill the leader. Unless it's Contest of Champions, which is broken anyway. Don't worry about it. Tip number 3. We have got, do not point sync heroes. And by that, I mean, don't get, say, Sauron and the Witch King fully upgraded and another Wraith. Don't spend over half your points on heroes, because at the end of the day, boots on the ground win these games. The more models you have, the better, really. Not saying horde armies are always going to win, because they won't, but you're going to struggle to win, especially with elite armies. Not counting monsters, but it's going to be a struggle. Unless you've watched my tactics video on how to win with elite armies, in which case you'll be a pro and you can win easily. I'm joking, of course. It'll still be a struggle. But, yeah, don't point sync. Because if you can't get those points back, either by winning the game or, kills or stuff like that, then it's not worth it. Now, tip number 2, okay, and this is going to be harder for some factions, this is the less generic one, is I always try and get a spellcaster in my list, if I can. I play evil, so I'm quite happy to have a Wraith. Okay, any kind of Wraith. I prefer the named Wraiths, they just seem better to me for their points. But if you can, get a caster of some sort, even if it's a low level caster. Because if you've got something like Transfix or Wrath of Brunnin or things like that, it just gives your opponent that extra thing to worry about, that extra thing to think about before he does something. And I'm guilty of this as well. If I see Elrond, I'm going to be shaking in my boots, thinking, he's got Wrath of Brunnin, he's going to knock everyone down and do a bunch of damage to me if I don't counter him. So I'll start, micromanaging the sections around him to try and negate that one ability. It just makes it a lot harder to see the bigger picture. Sure, I've learnt now that a Wrath of Brunnin is not a game changer all the time. It can be. But if I see a position where he's going to kill a few guys because he's going to knock them over and elves are going to jump on top of them, can I live with that? Will I get more out of it if I let it happen? I'll let it happen. But, like I said, it's giving me things to think about. If I have a single Wraith on the board, I will see my opponent keep his leader as far away from that Wraith as he can. So I can use that Wraith to stand him near an objective or somewhere I don't want his leader to be, or his beat stick or something like that. Because he'll try and get away from him. Especially if I do my wombo combo of sapping their will, and next turn I'll transfix them and jump on top of them. As soon as I've sapped will, they're really scared. They are really, really scared. Because unless they've got resistant to magic or something like that, they've got no defense to my magic. It's really quite fun. Not for them, for me it is. And the number 1 tip, which isn't just number 1, it's just first place, I guess, is learn what other heroes do. Okay? It's not great if you turn up to an event, and this is more a competitive chat, just so you know. It's not great if you go to an event, you see a hero, you know the name, sure, whatever. That is, I don't know, Vascu for Isengard. What the hell does he do? And, I mean, your opponent can tell you, but sometimes they won't. I've had that guy who doesn't really want to tell me, and he's like, he's just good at shooting. Right, okay, cool, he's good at shooting, fine. No, he can fire twice, and he's got a crossbow, which is strength 4, which is scary as hell. And if he can fire that twice, and I'm pretty sure he hits on 3s with might, that is terrifying, okay? You'll be killing a lot of stuff. If you know how each hero works, and I'm not saying go and grab all the books and read on every hero. I have the luxury of doing that because I own all the books and I have nothing better to do when I'm sat around after work or whatever. I like sitting there and reading about different heroes, because you never know, I might find an army I really like and I might collect it, or I might go against it. Like, I know what the Witch King can do, I know what Gothmog can do, I know exactly what Uglug can do and Shagrat, because I would probably, at some point, go up against them, and if I know what they can do, I can prepare for it. That's it. So, know your enemy, and know your own heroes, okay? I've already mentioned knowing your own heroes and what they're intended to do, but really know how to use them. Aragorn, for example, if you don't use him right, you're wasting a hell of a lot of points, and I'm guilty of this as well. I always do this from my own experiences. A lot of these videos come from my own experiences and my tips to beginners. I always thought, Aragorn, I want to kill the enemy leader with Aragorn. I want to kill a troll with Aragorn. I want to kill the tough thing. But, yeah, you can do that, and he's good at that. He's a beatstick. But I find the best way to use Aragorn, in my opinion, especially against high defense armies, but they don't have to be high defense, is use your 3-pointer might to heroic combat. Don't always use, Aragorn's got a 3-pointer might, I'll heroic march with Aragorn. Now screw that, use that, Captain can do that. Or not Captain, another hero, a lesser hero with hero move, can do that. Aragorn is going to save his for when he's in combat, and he's going to heroic combat, because if you've got him on a horse, which you might not if you're using the Legendary Legion Return of the King, but if you do, he's going in with 3 attacks, 4 on the charge, at fight 6 with strike, but you won't be using strike. I'm just going against normal troops, so you'll be higher fight anyway, because you fight bloody 6, and you're going to be knocking people over, so you'll be doing 2 hits on each guy, so 8 strikes that never wound on anything less than a 4+ on each guy you get into combat when you win the combat. And if you hurt combat, you've got a very good chance of killing 4 guys on horse, on foot, 3 guys, heroic combating into the next fight and killing another 3. I'll say on horse because it's the best, that's his best potential. On a horse, you're pretty much, not certain, but a very good chance of killing 3 guys with 4 attacks, or 8 attacks, should I say. Just saying the extra 2 are spare in case you fluff one of the rolls. And then you can move on. So you can potentially kill 6 guys a turn. And after 3 turns, that's a lot of guys, okay? 18 guys in 3 turns. That is insanely good. Insanely good. And he'll make his points back really quick. And then in the late game, you can clash with the leader and cut his head off. So, yeah. But I was always leaning, I'm going to try and get into his leader as fast as possible. I'll get 1 heroic combat off, and now I'm in combat with his leader, and I'm going to fight him, and I'm going to kill him. No. Okay? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. That is my list. Now, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of this list, and what kind of lists you want to see in the future. Because I have got a long list of videos I'm going to be releasing, and these are all from suggested videos. So, the cheapest army you can possibly buy, what faction reviews people want to see. I know people want to see, more Mordor things, or Gondor, things like that. Okay? So let me know in the comment section down below. Another note is I'm going to be trying my first few battle reports very soon. And I'm going to try in a couple of different ways. So if you don't like the first way I do it, let me know, okay? I haven't decided how I'm going to do them yet, but all I know is I'm going to record them. But what I need you guys to do, guys and girls, is let me know in the comment section down below what factions you want to see. Because I pretty much own almost all factions. If you give me a really dumb faction to play as, I don't know, like Wanderers in the Wild, I'm probably not going to do it. But, if you want to see Mordor versus Corsairs of Umbar, or, Thranduil's Halls versus Goblin Town, let me know, okay? And I'll do my very best to get those matchups up, because I've got a lot of buddies who've got a lot of different armies, and I own a hell of a lot of different armies. And if there's a specific faction you want to know how to play, or want to know how I play, let me know down below, because I might have that faction. There's a good chance I've got that faction, and you get to see pretty much firsthand how I play them. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thank you ever so much for watching, and if you liked it, do hit the like button. It really helps the channel out, and if you're feeling saintly today, please do subscribe. But if you don't do either of those things, I still hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.